Do you?
Going
I'm recording. We're balls deep. We're doing this.
Yeah.
I can edit it out, or we can like restart it if it's like really bad. Bag Daddies number 2. It's official. I mean, we've extended for an additional 3 seasons, so you are stuck with us. By the way, before we get into it, I feel like we should probably clarify the name Bag Daddies, because understandably there was some confusion with the last video. We had a few people that were like, "Oh my gosh, you guys should totally do like a traveling with kids video." So just to clarify, Alex and myself, we are daddies of humans. But yeah, Zach and John are daddies of canines. John's got like 15 dogs. John, how many dogs do you have? You have a lot of dogs.
5.
5 dogs. You can't have kids, pretty much. You're committed
daddy of the bedroom.
Daddy of the bedroom. But yeah, the name Bag Daddies is just like our group chat name, has a nice ring to it. Technically, we are daddies of bags that we have, adopted and taken good care of over the years. But anyways, before we do quick intros, the premise of today's discussion is Battle of the Bag Brands. So let me actually share my screen so you can see what I'm talking about here. We have decided on 8 carry brands. We came up with them because they're a combination of just popular brands, but also brands that we collectively, for the most part, have experience with. And super simple, for every 2 brands, for every matchup, we're each of us going to cast a vote on which brand we prefer. The evaluation criteria is not black and white. It's just very much like subjective. We want to keep this free flowing, off the cuff. We'll share our thoughts on why each one. And then the one kicker is we each get a little like power up that we can only use once throughout the whole entire tournament. In the event of a tiebreaker, you can use that tie break power. By the way, we haven't talked about this, but I'm thinking like once the tie is drawn, whoever says Spartacus first gets dibs on calling the tiebreaker. So I'm excited. Hopefully we get some tiebreakers in there, but that's pretty much it. May the best carry brand win. This is going to be interesting. I'm both excited and also, it's going to be crazy. But yeah, let's do some quick intros. Alex, if you want to kick it off, and then we'll get into it.
Yeah, what's up, guys? I'm Alex, out in the lights. Releasing videos on Saturdays at 7 a.m. now, so check me out. Other than that, can't wait to see all of the hate comments from today's podcast once we go through and crown our top brand.
Yeah, definitely. If you disagree, let us know in the comments. By the way, I'm John from Unpacked. Just like the rest of these guys here, reviewing and testing gear and sharing my thoughts on YouTube. And like I said, if you disagree, definitely don't be shy. I know it's the internet and you won't be, but we encourage it.
And I'm Zach from Vision Swell. And recently I've really cut down my collection and I'm trying to compare all new stuff to that. So yeah, I review all types of carry stuff, tech, camping gear, stationary, all over the map. So
his reviews give me anxiety now because he's got 11 bags and they're either gonna make it or he's got to get rid of them, and I'm always like, God, please don't get rid of that one, or you better get rid of that one. All right, let me share my screen. And then I'm Wolf, Knitpacker, also reviewing travel and everyday carry products from the lens of a very nitpicky person that spends a lot of time on the little details of like whatever makes or breaks a design. But yeah, the first one is going to be Air v Alpaka. And then I guess like let's just do it in this order. What we just did for each one. So Alex, kick it off. What are your thoughts?
All right, so my knee-jerk reaction is to go with Air on this one, but just discussing both brands, I think both brands actually have a lot of positives here, as well as, the rest of the list today. We definitely don't have any like duds on the list, so it's going to be very hard to go through these. But for me, I've always kind of connected more with Air, their branding, like they're definitely for like more of the urbanite. I just really like what they're doing with their design language now, kind of making all of the bags into like a cohesive design language, which is cool. Alpaka, on the other hand, Also puts out great bags, affordable stuff too. I really like their like Metro series of backpacks as well as some of their sling bags. But for me, when it comes to like a brand and an overall like feeling someone that I'm going to go towards, it's definitely going to be Air for me on this one.
Nicely done. Nicely done.
Thank you.
John, do you disagree? Do you disagree?
No, I don't disagree. I do enjoy a lot of Alpaca's products. I think one of the best things about Alpaca is they manufacture. I think they own their own like manufacturing facilities, so they're making their own materials, they're making their own products, and they can turn around products like no other brand. Maybe tomtoc, they can make products like tomtoc, but I mean, just from X Pack to Axle Flux to their new Ultradyne, like you name it, they've got it, and they've got pouches. They've got like I use Alpaca products every single day. I use my ID badge holder with the hub ID clip. So like I mean, they just have so many products, and it's hard for other brands to keep up with them. But like much like Alex, the continuity between the products, the refinedness, and they don't update their stuff very often, every couple of years. So when they do update something, it seems to be very thoughtful and well thought out. Versus Alpaca, they can just put something out and then they can tweak it 3 or 4 months later because they have the capacity to do so. But yeah, when it comes, so I'm comparing the two. I definitely would lean more towards the Air, less complicated too. Sometimes alpaca products can have a lot of pockets and some things that you don't need. But like Alex said as well, it's like not a knock on alpaca by far because I actually use quite a bit of alpaca gear. But head to head, I'm gonna go with Air.
Yeah, not to like pile on to this one, but I think I would definitely go Air. I really like alpaca for certain things, like their pouches are really nice. They have a lot of nice slings. I was just never the hugest fan of their backpacks to me personally, like too many pockets, a little bit overly complicated. Whereas like Air was like the first premium sling I ever bought, one of the first like nice backpacks I ever bought. Love the design language, love the functionality. A lot of their stuff is personal item sized for me, and yeah, just overall fan.
All right, looks like we got a winner. I don't. Do I need to say anything? I I did, by the way,
Go ahead.
recently.
We want to hear.
Yeah, I mean, Air was definitely like one of the original premium backpack brands that I, strongly identified with. They're both in the minimal modern technical space. Behemoths. I think Alpaca has carved a little pocket where they have been historically like a little bit cheaper than Air, but it's like now it's like Air is just like being a pain in the ass to compete with in a lot of ways. I think, yeah, I also choose Air. And I think one of the things that I really appreciate, you guys have already touched on it, but I look at it kind of like when you go into a restaurant, if a restaurant has a shitload of things on the menu versus a restaurant that's like very concise, like carefully curated things, that just tells me like they know exactly what they want to focus on and just they're focused on perfecting that. And I think Alpaca, my one issue with them is that it's hard to keep up. They come out with so many products, John, for the reasons that you talked about. They have the ability to do so, but I think it also strips away a little bit of the joy of like looking forward to products. And it's like how good could it be if they just came out with a bunch of stuff. So, anyways, um, Air takes that round.
Yeah, I want to
Uh,
add also with Air, it's cool that it's like there's almost like an exclusivity to it, especially with what they're doing now when they're collaborating with like other brands, like doing like limited run clothing, limited edition slings just for like the Japanese market. Like there's also just like I don't know, like a level of cool that Air has that I think is like hard to touch, especially going against like an alpaca.
for sure, for sure, for sure. Okay, I had a feeling the first one was going to be a little bit more straightforward, but this one, yeah, I think it's going to be interesting for sure. Um, Alex, what are your thoughts between Evergoods and Able Carry?
Okay, yeah. So for me, Able Carry is probably going to be my choice between the two of these. I don't know. I just like the way that Able Carry bags look with that kind of like oval shape that they have. They definitely have a very distinct look, and you can really point out an Able Carry bag when you see one. With Evergoods, I feel like they're a little more simplistic, which is good too. I mean, their bags are really really nice, heavy duty bags, and I know they have such a huge dedicated following too, which makes this one very, very hard between these two brands. Um, but for me, yeah, I don't know. Able Carry's just always kind of spoken to me a little bit more. I like the carry system better too. They're super comfortable to wear compared to evergoods. I know some people have problems with like the evergoods, like going into your back or whatever. For me, I've never experienced that, but you got to wear it kind of like high up and stuff too. So it's like a whole different way of carrying. But Able Carry, just throw it on. It's super comfortable. It looks great. I'm going with Able Carry for this one.
I kind of know how this round's going to go, but Able Carry's great, but I'm going to go with Evergoods. And I've only been doing YouTube for almost 2 years, but I've been in this carry world, a niche and rabbit hole for almost 4 years. And Evergoods was one of the first like premium brands with along with Air that I really like deep dove into. And one of the things that I really appreciate about Evergoods is their design process. Yeah, I definitely think Able Carry has the better looking bags aesthetically, and the carry comfort is definitely better. But when I look at Evergoods as a whole, their Cap One, their Cap Two, the packing cubes, the Civic travel bag, they have their own approach and their own design, and they're not afraid to go in that lane in that space. I mean, look at the TCP8 packing cube, just that big brick, but it works so well in their bags. It is very different packing cube approach to the thousands of packing cubes on the market. So I really appreciate the design. The Cap 2, I mean, how many brands have now imitated the Cap 2, right? But they can always imitate, but they can never duplicate, right? So, as being a nerd, and like I said, for almost 4 years and deep diving, I think the design aspects what really draws me to Evergoods, and that's why I'm going to go with Evergoods on this pick.
Baby.
And John is like, I already was conflicted, but John just doubled down on it because that's like the hard
I
part for
know.
me is like
Yeah.
looking at Evergoods as a whole because Able Carry is like just bags for the most part. And like to me, like spoiler alert, I'm gonna go Able Carry just on aesthetics because I just love the like those like diagonal lines, the way it's kind of like triangular. I had someone in my comments say that it looked like a Ninja Turtle shell, and I thought that was really funny because just different eyes on different people, you know. To me, they're like so beautiful and like such nice, good looking bags. I love that exterior quick access on all their bags. That's like the diagonal slit, the little attachment points, carry system super comfortable. They're just beautiful bags. Whereas like Evergoods, Cap 2 is arguably my favorite tech pouch of all time. Now I just like love it to death. And I really like their backpacks too. But I think because being in the bag reviewer space, it's just like I'm a little bit jaded on that like regular panel loader style backpack, very minimal. They're super nice, but like I'm just gonna go with Able Carry on like the style factor.
Mm, leave it to Wolf to just ruin the party, huh? Um, yeah, man, John. Honestly, like, I mean, I was already leaning in one direction, but yeah, you make some
Yeah,
like really good points in the sense that I feel like there's a little bit of a more of a disconnect with Able Carry as a brand. It's also the way that they represent like their whole design process. Evergoods does it. This is a weird analogy, but do you feel like they're kind of like the Toyota of the bag brands? That they're like utilitarian. uh, They don't stand out a ton. A lot of people might think it's like, damn, that's like really expensive for what it is. But like the people that know, like, get why it costs a certain amount, or for the most part, but they're like just built to last, like to be like really reliable, not to be like fancy or have a lot of bells and whistles. Um, I love Evergood. Like Cap One is my tech pouch. Absolutely love it. Love Evergoods, but it really still to ruin the party. Able Carry for me for reasons that have been mentioned, but I think it comes down to two big factors. There's just the design language aspect that I do think more and more. I appreciate how refreshingly unique the visual design language is on Able Carry bags. There's like this like Japanese like minimalism to it, even though they're a Chinese brand. I think it's the combination of that and the fact that they're so damn comfortable. Like they're number one most comfortable bags for me. Whereas Evergoods, unfortunately, I fall into that camp, and I get it. Like if you adjust, like the CTB 20, I had never wanted to like a bag as much as the CTB 20, but I just couldn't make it work. Unfortunately, I don't know if it's like my proportions, my body frame, whatever it might be, but comfort is something that I value tremendously. The MPL 22 I actually found to be a very comfortable bag. On one end, I respect the fact that they're not like reiterating the harness system. They're like, hey, we're staying true to everything. But on the same token, a part of me is like, it seems like there's enough people complaining about it that, yeah, I think it would be interesting if they actually like, maybe didn't veer too far from what they've created, but still made some adjustments. I mean, like, look at Peak Design. That's another prime example of just like a bag that people love for a lot of reasons, but it's heavy as shit and it's almost universally uncomfortable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think Evergoods, just from what because I've been following the brand for so long, is like whenever they make a change or they introduce a product, it's something that's been in the work for years, like literally like 2 to 3 years before they bring it to market. So who knows, maybe the harness system, which I have a video coming hopefully by the end of the month on the CTB 26, and it's going to be a long-term review, but
Yeah.
I'll talk briefly on that in that video about the harness system and how I feel Evergoods is going to approach it. But yeah, that round went exactly how I thought it would.
It's
But
tough.
like
They're
I,
like such different companies.
they're
Yeah,
very different. And like
it's
you
hard.
said,
Like,
like
yeah,
the harness system on Able Carry is just so good, and that's like one. I've been on Reddit long enough to know like the harness system for Evergoods is a friction point for a lot of people. To your point, Wolf, right? There's been enough talk about it, enough controversy that you would have thought it would have been addressed by now.
But hey, kind of like Toyota, right? Like they take forever to change their platform, but when they do, it's been, there's been an insane amount of thought and R&D put into it. So I'm confident that whenever they like iterate, it'll be a good one for sure. All right. So Bellroy tomtoc.
cool. You want me to start off again,
Yeah,
or
unless
should
you
we
guys
switch
want to
it
like,
up and go with?
yeah, let's switch it
Let's
up.
switch it
Yeah,
up. Let's do with Zach first. That's fine.
yeah,
You want to do
yeah.
it first, Zach, and I'll end things off.
Sure. Sure. I mean, for this one, it's like I have to give a lot of respect to Tom Talk. And for the budget level that those bags are, they are incredible. Again, it was like one of the first kind of nicer bags I bought. And like they just have incredible value for the price point. I cannot stress them enough as one of the best, easy to recommend brands for people who aren't like bag nerds. But like, I know you're going to know the obvious answer here for me is going to be Bellroy because I just, there's just something they do so well with their overall style and the fact that it's like kind of funky, kind of fashionable, but still like extremely utilitarian. It's just, they make, and like not every product is for me, and listening to like JJ's interview with Wolf before just like reinforced that. It's like their philosophy of going for a lot of different types of people and like how they carry. Like to me, that speaks to me because compared to something like an Air where it's like they know who their defined consumer is and they're always speaking directly to that consumer. Whereas like Bellroy gets a little bit funky with it. And like, I don't know, there's just something about their visual style language, depending on the line, that just I am in love with. And I've owned a ton of Bellroy gear over the years, and I've loved and not loved all of it in some way, but it was always like inspiring.
Good answer. Good answer. John.
Sorry, I didn't know I was next. I thought we were going to go. Anyway,
No, yeah, just
look, I'm Tom Talk to the day I die, but I'm gonna have to go Bellroy. I love me some Tom Talk. Don't get me wrong, and I always recommend Tom Talk products. But I'm looking at the brand as a whole, and I think that Bellroy really execute their designs, whether it be a laptop case or the lunchbox, the Cooler Caddy Light, which I use religiously every single day. That's my longest used Bellroy product. I mean, it's still holding up great, but it doesn't matter whether it be the tech pouch, whether it be the toiletry kit, backpacks, whatever they're doing, the slings, they seem to execute it very well. Reasonably priced, not as good as Tom Talk, but I think if you were to look at the company as a whole and the catalog as a whole, I just feel that everything that they do tends to be executed on the better side of things.
surprised, not surprised, but a little surprised because you were a Tom Talk daddy for
Oh
sure.
yeah, dude, I got Tom Talk tattooed right here on the like. I'm ride or die. Like, don't get. I still want to do a collab with Tom Talk. Holler at your boy.
Oh man, Alex.
I'm gonna pick Bellroy too, for the reasons that kind of everyone stated here. I really like their like playfulness, the colors that Bellroy offers too. Um, and yeah, I think like it goes the same with like even all of like their branding and like the stuff that they do too. I love their little owl logo, like that kind of stuff also adds a little bit to like the brand as a whole. Whereas tomtoc, the bags are really great. I don't think the branding is to the same level as Bellroy, obviously. Like it feels more like a brand that's $89 for a bag when you look at their branding. Like if they step that up a little bit, I think that they could bring themselves into like a new even category. But yeah, Bellroy's going to win this one for me. Although I love Tom Tog, I'm the exact same way. I use that T66 all the time. So yeah, they're a great brand too.
Okay, yeah, I think that one is gonna go that way. Yeah, I agree. I mean, like, one of the things that JJ and I talked about, and something I really appreciate about Bellroy is the life that they put in their products. Like, they have so much personality. Talked about like the colors, the like they're good looking bags, and for a bigger brand, the fact that they are like not scared to innovate and just they're constantly like ahead of the curve in a lot of ways, and the fact that they develop most of their materials in house and they do it sustainably. Yeah, I mean Bellroy is just an incredible brand. Tom Talk amazing as well, specifically for what they're doing, being like that, very like more budget conscious brand. But yeah, I mean, I materials are incredibly important for me, and I'm the kind of person that I would rather spend more money and just have something that like feels significantly better as well. So yeah,
Yeah, I think Top
move.
Talk's trending in the right direction. A lot of their newer designs, they got some more colors. Their materials are getting a little bit better. I think they're making improvements, especially with their branding. Their old branding was loud and obnoxious, and they've kind of dialed it down to the matte black tee. So they're making strides. But yeah, the kind of paired in that bracket, they were going to get crushed on that one.
Dude, I'm already not looking forward to the next
Yeah.
round. All right, who wants to take this one? Pioneer and Simple.
Let's let John start.
I'll kick it off here. For me, it's going to be Pioneer. The 840D Mandarin, the zippers are a joy to use. I don't know if you guys remember, I don't know how long you guys have been in like following Simple, but the early packs had like so much branding. Like he used to have Simple Studios like all over the bag. And that kind of always stuck with me. I know they've cleaned that up like tremendously over the years, but I just remember those bags being super loud with the coordinates and all that. Anyway, I just really like how Pioneer is approaching bringing something unique to the market. Yes, they don't have all the amazing colors that some of the other brands do, but their bags are unique looking. Their zippers are smooth, and I really am a big fan of the 840D Mandarin.
So good, so good.
Who's up next?
I can go. I mean, I feel like no surprise. Pioneer, love them to death. Simple. I mean, one of the things that I will say that I do appreciate about Simple is just how committed they are to listening to their customers, and they're like doing, the recent commuter that they came out with. I think we've all had our hands on it. Didn't come out even like a year ago, and they've already had like two additional iterations to it. And yeah, I think for anyone that's like really into organization, my dad's in town right now and he's like a freaking organization freak. Like the City Pack Pro 2 didn't have enough organization for him, so go figure. And yeah, I showed him the simple computer. He's like, ooh, I might want to swap this bad boy out. But yeah, I think Pioneer, unique designs. Their materials are insane that they're developing on their own, and they're a smaller brand doing it with like much weaker production capabilities, and a brand like Bellroy or Peak Design that are also doing things like that. And yeah, I mean Panda Pack. This guy, I am not looking forward to the Pioneer Bellroy matchup. Is all I'll say. Alex, you're the Mr. Duration. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm a Pioneer guy
Yeah.
through and through. They've always been one of my favorite brands since starting the channel. The design is great. The fabrics are, amazing. I just love a good like thick fabric like that Pioneer has, and those zippers are just they're the best. They're iconic, and
Yeah.
they are love or hate, but I think they're fantastic. Um, Yeah, Simple is also a nice brand. This is kind of my entryway, was that commuter 20-liter bag, which I like, and it has some great organization there too. It just, yeah, it just doesn't stack up against Pioneer. Simple kind of reminds me almost of like an Air Light or something. Like they're trying to be a little bit more into that category, which is great. And I'm sure they'll continue to grow more too. But yeah, Pioneer's it for me.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I'm going with Pioneer too. I mean, I really like the simple commuter bag, actually. Like, the it's just not the bag for me necessarily because I'm more of like a pouch guy. So it really depends on like how you like to pack a bag out. If you're like a super pocket guy, then that is excellent choice for you.
A super pocket guy.
Well, I mean, there's so many people like that. That like
SPGs, man. Yeah.
I've seen comments where they're like, "You always load stuff," like not just me, but in Reddit in general. Like, you always just load stuff into pouches. Like, you never use the pockets, whatever. And it's like, it just depends on how you carry. But Pioneer is beautiful. I think the Panda Pack is one of the best backpacks I've ever owned in my life. Like, in terms of organization, to me, that is the perfect organization. I love the external pocketing on that. That front bottom pocket, I could fit my headphones in it. Like, the zippers are beautiful. The Mandarin's super nice. And now that I've added an aftermarket sternum strap to it, it is legitimately like the perfect bag for me. So
I need to order that. I need to order that.
I love I you guys brought up the fabric. Like, that fabric and those zippers are just like next level to me. I don't know.
And the
I like that they use them
the
across the
liner.
products. Yeah.
Their liner, man. Holy shit. The liner is by far like definitely my favorite liner fabric. Bar none. Air and able carry. Okay.
These are
Why don't you
these are
start
gonna-
this one
these
off?
are going to be tough.
I was counting on getting some inspiration. On one end, I do appreciate, like, back to the whole restaurant analogy of just like the concise menu. Able carry the pretty concise menu of products that they offer. The few, for the most part, the ones I have experience with are the Max CDC, the Daily Plus, and recently their Core Sling, which I just like finished my review. It's funny, the shoulder strap, it's been super polarizing. I actually like net actually have been appreciating that sling for reasons I get into in the video. But yeah, I mean, I think between the two, I feel like I still have to go Air. I think Able Carry has a little bit more, I wouldn't say I guess like a little bit more personality. Air, there's a certain sterility that comes with their brand, but when it comes to like minimal modern, they do it incredibly well. But I think it's the combination of the fact that they've been able to put out so many incredible products at a price point where, I don't know, I feel like it's kind of cool. Air is playing a big role in getting people into backpacks, right? Where someone's like, I could spend $180, $200 on a backpack that is significantly better than anything they might have experienced. Able carry bags are a bit more expensive. And yeah, I think just like Air's full offering, I mean, they have a lot of products, but they really do everything well. Their slings, their tag pouches, backpacks, of course, and slightly lagging behind Able carry a little bit in the comfort department for me, but that's not going to be a deterrent when they're both so insanely comfortable.
Who wants it?
No one
I
wants
mean,
this one.
I'll take it if you want. It
Yeah,
sounds
go
bad.
ahead, Zach.
I was just gonna say, this one's really hard for me because like stylistically, I love Able Carry so much, and like I have 200 bags right now that I'm keeping. But like when I look at the overall,
Hold on a second. You have 200. I thought we had 11 bags, Zach. What is going on?
I have 2 Able Carries. I'm
Uh-oh.
saying, what? They're
Oh, you
part
said
of-
two. Did you hear 200? I heard 200.
heard
I'm like, oh my
200.
God.
Oh, no, I
He has
mean,
them
I have
stashed in his carry-on luggages.
2 Able Carries are in the 11 currently.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
They're
But
just inside. There's actually 22 bags. There's a bag inside. each
yeah,
bag.
they're nesting doll. But I mean, Able Carry is beautiful. I love it so much, but I'm going with Air on this one specifically because of the whole ecosystem. Like, to me, Air has such a large catalog of things that I like. They have a ton of slings I like, a ton of backpacks I like. And yeah, they're more like safe when it comes to aesthetics, but they have the comfort, the organization. They come in fabrics that I like. I wish they came in more colors. I wish some of their stuff was a little bit more experimental, but like what they do well, and they have a great catalog of bags that I love.
You want it,
Do you want me to
Alex?
go next or you want to do it,
Yeah,
John?
go for it. Go for it.
Okay. So maybe a little surprisingly, I'm going to choose Able Carry for this round. And
Love it.
yeah, this is a tough round because you really have like kind of the biggest brand on this list, Air. I mean, Bellroy, kind of rivals that too. But Air now has, their own stores. So you can go into San Francisco or New York or wherever and go into an Air store. Um, and that's up against Able Carry, which is probably the smallest brand on this list here because they put out one thing every year. I think they have like 5 products total. Um, but obviously, with their products, they really do a great job of thinking of everything beforehand before they release the product. And it really feels like a special thing when an able carry bag comes out, which is really cool. Whereas, same thing with Air. It's great that they're doing their thing. It's just like the new Air releases are definitely refinements and little changes. So for me, it's more exciting when I see an able carry bag come out. Another reason this is tough is these are two companies not based in Japan that are very Japanese style companies. So this is a fun head to head. But yeah, Able Carry is just going to edge out Air just a tiny little bit for me. So let's see what John says, but maybe this is our first tie.
Right?
No, Air's gonna crush Able Carry. We're gonna go three
Oh,
one on Air. No, it's not that. It's not that wide of a margin, but just for all the reasons that Zach and Wolf already mentioned, I'm just looking at the brand as a whole. Whether it be their tech pouches, their slings, they got a gym thing, they got travel packs, like, and I think that a lot of those are just really well done. Some of them do need to be updated, right? But we're seeing that slowly, right? The travel pack just got one after almost what 3 years, almost 3 years, um, I just think as a brand in general, like maybe it could be because we're in the space and we're so close to it, and I feel like having conversations with you guys over the last several months, that it seems to be like Air seems to be the bar, and everything is gauged against them, and it's kind of where we're at right now. Like you said, gaining in popularity. I've been to the Air New York store, super friendly. It's nice to be able to see all the products in hand. The stores are really cool. Like you said, they have that advantage. I mean, just altogether, um, Air is just really tough to compete with right now.
I feel like every review that I do now that's like a bag remotely competing with it. I'm like, I have to dedicate a whole part on like how this bag stacks up against the City Pack Pro 2 because that's all that anyone gives a shit about. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I just did it on their video I just filmed, so I'm guilty.
Yeah. Okay. Air makes it to the finals. Bellroy Pioneer. Um, anyone want it, or you want me to kick it off?
Yeah, go for it. Back to back.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely tough because I mean, Panda Pack, favorite backpack altogether. Really like that they're doing like it's also like fun supporting the underdog just because they are a smaller brand, but holistically speaking, just Bellroy, yeah, wins for me for sure. I think there's a lot of components to it, but it, they have a lot of different products, and I think it's really cool how they just approach designing products, right? Where they have like different collections for different personas. I think that's like one element that I really love. I love already like the playfulness and the colors that Alex alluded to. Like colors are so important, like to the sparking joy factor, even though the green on the Panda Pack really gets me good. But I mean, Bellroy does colors that are more aligned with my color preferences better than anyone else, which is really great. The whole sustainability factor, I think, is really, really huge. And yeah, I mean, just like a really talented group of designers that I think are thinking about products not just from a functionality lens, but just from like how can we like enrich people's lives and just remove friction, but in a way that's, I don't know. They talk about how they create things that you don't even think about, like the pocket on like the Bellroy Venture Ready Pack. You know, the top quick access pocket, how it kind of
The
like
brain pocket.
it's the brain pocket.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things that when you first get it, you're like, that's kind of unusual, or that like doesn't feel like it would be aligned with my organizational preferences. And then you start using it, and there's something so intuitive about it. Um, but yeah, Bellroy is gonna win it for me.
I'll take it next. Pioneer for me. And the reason being Pioneer over Bellroy is
Alex wants a
every
tie. Alex wants a tie so badly.
I do want a tie. We have to have at least one tie in this thing today. All right. So Pioneer takes it for me because every product that Pioneer takes, or sorry, every product that Pioneer makes is like a 10 out of 10 for me. When it comes to Bellroy, it's maybe like half of the products that are a 10 out of 10 for me. There's a lot of stuff that Bellroy makes that I just don't really like that much. I tried out the Tokyo Tote Pack compact version, and I thought that there was a lot to be desired there, to be honest. It didn't feel up to standard with a lot of the other Bellroy bags that they make. But then I just tried out like their classic tote, and like I'm obsessed with that. That was such a cool bag. I use that all the time. But because of those inconsistencies that I see within the brand, and I'm not, if I get a Bellroy, I don't know if it's going to be a 10 out of 10 every time. If I buy a Pioneer, I know I'm going to love whatever it is Pioneer. So Pioneer takes it 100% for me.
I'm looking at Zach right now, and I feel like he's like whatever you was thinking. He's like, oh shit, I don't know if that's an ironclad argument. I mean, that's a really good argument for sure.
You're getting the gears going in my head with what you're saying, because I love Pioneer. Don't get me wrong, Panda Pack's great, but like the part that I was gonna jump in on is when you said you like everything that they make, because I don't know, I tried their slings and they were not good. Like the Safari sling, I was very generic for its price point. I know you love the duration pack. I'm not the biggest fan. It was too tight for me. I love the Panda Pack, but that's like my product for them and their wallets and stuff like that. That's what I personally like. And like I agree with you on some of your points on Bellroy with like there's certain products I didn't necessarily love. Like the cinch bags were cool, but it's not really my style. It would be better for someone that's like a parent, a diaper bag, whatever. But they just have so many products that I love. Like the light sling is my favorite sling of all time. I've had it for over 2 years now. And like the light material I love. The light travel pack, super nice. The classic line I get down on. A lot of people, it can be divisive with the zipper style and everything, but I love that kind of 60s look to it. And I don't know, there's just something about Bellroy that like speaks to my soul that like I gotta go with them.
John, before you get into it, as you were talking about it, Zach, because like I mean, I love Pioneer, but also for me, there's been some that have been like Panda Pack is like up here. I actually really like the Duration Pack as well, but their wallet, like I'm like a leather wallet guy, always have been, and I've been like loving their like I've been using it for like a year and a half. The Altitude, love it, but yeah, the Safari Sling really doesn't even come close to competing with any other, and it's designed to be like a really compact sling, but nothing crazy. And then their tech pouch, it's like the whole black liner. It's like
See,
hard to
I do like that one, the global pouch.
do you
Yeah, that's pretty cool because it's like you can use it as a dop kit, whatever. I don't mean to interrupt you, but yeah,
no
cool.
it also just like you know me and zippers, and it's not like a as smooth of a zipper as I would want. And then their Ray Pack, I mean, it was a fun one, it was a different one, put me in a different mindset. Like I enjoyed it, but yeah, I totally get it. Good points, gentlemen.
Yeah, but let's talk
John.
about Bellroy zippers, because Bellroy has a lot of kind of shitty zippers, dude. So if you're trying to say one of Pioneers is bad, we got to talk a little bit about Bellroy zippers there.
No,
there's a lot
totally
like, well, this is trash, dude, compared to like the rest of like the bag, And maybe that's just a manufacturing cost. I mean, I don't know what their typical zipper they use is, but I think they go back and forth between different brands that they use for each bag too. So Also, what I was saying with the inconsistency, right? Like they're always bringing in new, different types of fabrics. Even some lines have different type of fabrics with different colors. So like the inconsistencies are insane across the board there.
Yeah. 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 I was like, I'm thinking of like my favorite sling because I've been like holding off on doing like my roundup of like my 5 favorite slings and like ranking them. And like I always go like love the Venture Ready sling. Like I think we can all agree it's like a fantastic sling. But the zippers, they're not bad. They're not bad, but they're also like compared to some of the other slings that are like gunning for a top spot. Definitely not like the smoothest zipping experience. It's just like that, zip coated. John, give us something, dude. Give us something.
All right, so my pick is actually going to be tomtoc. I'm bringing him back from the dead. No, I'm just messing with you guys. Dude, like Alex, you nailed it directly, like nail on the head. Like, my pick is going to be bellroy. That's my pick.
Oh.
But to Alex's point, it is
what a fake out, by the way.
I like that. Good.
It's got to keep you on your toes. That's why I was going to bring my tomtoc card back. I'm telling you, man, ride or die. But no, I think Alex, you nailed it. There is some inconsistency within their products, right? If you get one bag compared to another bag, you're not going to get the same carry experiences like you would for like evergoods, right? They have a consistency throughout their line. But the reason I'm picking bellroy is just for the joy factor, because they have the colors, because they have the different liners, and then they have such a huge catalog. While there is inconsistencies between their slings and their backpacks and all of the other, even right down to the laptop cases, right? They're going to get a different experience between those. But once you find your bellroy products, like they're really good, right? And being a smaller brand, Pioneer's kind of stuck with what they got, right? They don't have such a huge catalog. But to your point, right, like the Venture Sling, right, is iconic. The Venture Travel Pack, or they just have a lot of good stuff. You just got to find the one that works for you, right? And the zippers, yeah, the zippers can be a hang up, but I'm definitely gonna let the joy factor win on this one. But yeah, tomtoc, I love you.
Dude, we are getting that collab no matter what.
That would be, I'd want that so badly. Please make that happen.
How predictable was this ending?
Yeah, I should have bought a lotto ticket because I knew how this was going to go.
I didn't pick this thing. This is you guys.
But I feel like this is the one round. This is the one round where we could have a tie, though. I feel like this is the first one where it feels possible to me.
Yeah, agreed. Well, Alex is gonna go opposite. There's not gonna be I don't. Oof. Should we like take a break, do some push-ups, like really think about what we're gonna go with, or you guys already know who you're going with?
We're down to Air and Bellroy, right?
Yeah, we're down to Air and Bellroy. Yeah,
The two biggest brands head to head now.
Yeah, this is the part this worked out exactly how I thought it would.
Yeah, same. I was just, I don't know. Yeah, I was struggling if some of them were paired up. It was going to be harder, but I don't know. I feel like some of these were shoo-ins.
We should have done a Bellroy Air first round.
Yeah,
like head to head.
Should we start again?
All right, who's gonna take this one, man?
I've already gone first a few times. Alex, just let it rip, dude. Give us everything.
Pull the Band-Aid.
Air is going to win this round for me. They just stylistically speak more to like my own personal style. I like Bellroy too. Like I said, they're playful, they're cool. There's some lines that I really, really like. It's just too all over the place for me as a brand. I like brands who are more like focused, more like know who they are almost. I feel like Bellroy is just like they try a little thing here, they try a little thing here. Like you said, once you find what you like, it's great. But for someone who's coming in and has like an overall brand, I would rather go with something that is a little more kind of cohesive in their design language. And yeah, just it's better for me. I also just love the 1680D Cordura ballistic nylon. It is also one of my favorite fabrics. and I think it's hard to compete against that.
I'm going last.
Yeah, let John go here because I just want to hear everyone's opinion before I go.
So, yeah, I just have to go air. I I'm trying to put this into words. So I've tried a tremendous amount of air products. I haven't reviewed. I still have air products that I bought. I just haven't had time to review. But I just like more air products. Whatever I get my hands on, yes, no matter the bag, the product, the pouch, it doesn't matter. There's always going to be a nitpick, right? The checks in the mail of that product. But as a whole, generally, I like the product a whole lot more. And then going back to Bellroy, kind of what I said on my last one, it's going to be a hit or miss, right? So, just because you buy one Bellroy bag doesn't mean your next one is going to be the same as user experience, because there is some inconsistencies there. But when you do find your one, right, it really works really well. So I just feel like for me, my personal experience with the brand, I just genuinely like their products out of the box, firsthand experience, like a lot more than having, some of my experiences with different Bellroy things.
Yeah, I'm gonna be the combo breaker here. I'm going 100% with Bellroy. I love Air, and don't get me wrong, they make some really perfect bags in my opinion. But there's also like the factor that yeah, Bellroy has some misses, but there's plenty of bands that are like my favorite bands of all time, and they've had some albums I wasn't the biggest fan of, and maybe they went off the rails here or there. But like when they knock it out of the park, they really knock it out of the park. So to me, I get personally more joy opening a box from Bellroy that comes to my door than I do from Air. Like Air's
I could see
great,
that.
but Bellroy just has that like fun factor. It's like the old Game Pros from the 1990s, like that fun factor number. Theirs is like off the charts for me. So I don't know. Even if I don't love the bag, it's just, there's something I appreciate about it. I just like the funkiness. Like I think I'm just bored and jaded, as I've said a million times now. I just need something to like wake me up in the morning. And Air is wonderful, but it's very safe. That's my rant. Sorry.
I like it. It's a good rant.
I think Wolf rose. Are you?
Oh man, I'm glad we got some excitement at the very end. I am gonna go with Bellroy as well. On paper, Air, exactly what you guys said. It should be Air if I'm looking at it purely from a product like box checking functionality perspective, because they do. I mean, like literally, I don't remember the last Air product that I was disappointed in. They're all fantastic, and we've hit a point that they're so easy to recommend for that reason. Then I think we don't represent the average consumer in the sense that we're kind of like fast tracking the experience of like the backpack vortex journey. I think we've talked about it before that we were kind of like experiencing like fatigue from like minimal modern technical backpacks. And Air backpacks I actually think are like within that realm. Like they are beautiful bags, but just in a way that I don't know another word to say it, but just it is a little bit sterile. And I've found myself just like gravitating more and more towards bags that don't check off as many boxes, but they just spark joy when I use them. And that's like really what it comes down to. Yes, there's a lot of Bellroy products that I don't identify with. They have so many things in their catalog. And even the ones that don't check off as many boxes as Air, they just have more of a life and a personality. Yeah, and I think just the combination of that with the brand, you know, being like, I feel like they're more outspoken in the community. I think there's like more faces that talk about like their mission and things like that. And Air, it feels like there's more of a disconnect there. So I think holistically as a brand, Bellroy Spartacus.
No.
Spartacus?
Let's
kidding.
talk this one over there.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
I think that those
We
are
gotta go
really
through maybe
valid
some
points. Like both of your points, right, Zach and Wolf. If you think about it, when's the last time you have opened an air box or package and you're like, you kind of know what you're gonna get, right? It's you kind of know what you signed up for. So I that's totally valid. I'm for me, my reason I went with there is like from a because of that functionally and comfort, I know what I'm gonna get versus I'm gonna roll the dice with Bellroy every single time. So I definitely see the point. It's definitely valid. And I will agree, right? When you open up a Bellroy box because they have so many different products and so many colors and so many different interiors and different materials, like you're genuinely like, oh, like hey, this is cool. You're like kind of, and then the opposite with air, right? You know what you're gonna get, that 1680D ballistic nylon. You know what that's like. You know what the harness is like. You know what the materials and the build, the quality, like you know what you signed up for. And so yeah, definitely see it from both ends. But sometimes, especially when I need gear to perform, I need to know how it's going to perform. I don't want to find out when it's going to how it's going to perform, you know, depending on what you're going to use it for. Yeah, so I think that I would take a air travel pack on a trip before I would, you know, maybe lean towards something from Bellroy, but again, because I know what I'm getting into, right? So valid points all around, gentlemen.
Yeah,
Baby.
let's discuss a couple of things. Why don't we do
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
all right, overall, like, how about like the overall style of the brand, right? Maybe we start with that and just discuss.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how we do this, how we like break this tie, but I don't know. Like for me, Air seems to have more of a cohesive message in their branding. Just in general, when I see like Air, I'm like, okay, that is a like a city bag, that is an urbanite bag, that is something that has a little Japanese style to it as well, but something that's going to fit in really well in like a city setting, and that's definitely their vibe. Whereas Bellroy, I feel like I don't know what their vibe is. I think it changes from bag to bag sometimes too. And I don't know if they have a really cohesive like brand because they try so many different things. There's so many different things too, if that makes sense. So like from one line of bags to the next, they're something else. Like they're the classic bag where they're like, hinting at those like 80s, 90s bags. And then they're branding that way. And then the next thing, they're cinch bags and they're going towards like, teens and stuff. So it's like all over the place for their marketing. They're just really like throwing darts at the board and trying to hit something. And for me, that doesn't work as well when it comes to like brand loyalty, who I like think of as an overall brand and like the style of the brand. I like, instead of a band having 5 out of 10 good albums, I'd rather just listen to 4 great Velvet Underground albums for the rest of my life that are all amazing. So for me, that's kind of where I see like the style of Air and like the whole overall brand of Air kind of beating out Bellroy. But I want to know how you guys like what you guys think about that too. It's interesting.
I like those examples. It makes you think of like when you bring up the band thing, it's like, is it like Tool where it's like I know every single album's gonna be good? Or is it like, I don't know, I'm trying to think of another example. Maybe like Pink Floyd, where it's like roll the dice a couple times. But um yeah, you bring up so many good points. So like it's hard because you're starting to convince me, but it's like the Air thing that's the problem for me is the differentiation. So it's like you bring up great points about Bellroy not having as much of an identity, but in some ways, Air is like too samey. So it's like the other end of the spectrum where all their bag lines are like kind of the same. I mean, you have like the gym duffel and some like weird stuff too, but like or whatever that duffel backpack gym thing, I forget what it's called, but all their bags like kind of look the same to me. And that is good for brand when you're talking about just specifically brand identity. But when it comes to like end level consumer, I kind of tend towards like the funky, like even if there's a lot of misses in Bellroy, it's like, I kind of like that they're trying something new. And I don't know. I just can't get over the like joy factor it brings me, I guess.
Yeah,
Wolf,
that's a
Wolf
good point.
take it home, buddy.
Well, let's talk about Joy as a separate section. Let's talk about like the style now, because I agree with you on Joy. It's very joyful
Yeah,
to open up
yeah,
a Bellroy
yeah.
package for sure.
I agree. Yeah, for the joy factor, I based mine more on like functionality. That's kind of where my decision came from. But yeah, I agree. Good point, Zach.
And I mean, that's like where I think the tricky line is, right? Because it's just like this is battle of the bag brands. So, and we all, I guess, like what contributes to how loyal or how strong of a connection we have with a brand is for different reasons. You know, for some people, they view a bag as like a tool, and they want a tool that performs as best as possible from a functional perspective. And I think that's like Air does that incredibly well. And yeah, to your point, Alex, I think they also just they're approaching the market in different ways, right? I think Air has a very specific end consumer, and they're building everything around that end consumer, which has also happened to be like a very mass consumer. I think everyone, like, that's kind of like when you're new into the bag world and you're trying to decide what to get, the market is pushing you in that direction because most of like the biggest brands are Air-esque, right? In that sense. So yes, you're absolutely right. Like they do have a much more defined, succinct design language, and it's consistent and cohesive. In my conversation with JJ, I think it's intentional how they do it, right? I think they're having more fun. They're being less safe in that sense. They're just like, hey, we want to be able to reach, we want to be able to like change people's lives, but different people's lives with different carry preferences and with different like visual preferences. So it does dilute the brand a little when you have a lot of different uh, collections. But on the same token, I think it is kind of cool because it's less about like, is this product hit or miss, and more just because what I found is like there's specific collections that that I identify with a lot more strongly because there is a cohesive element to all of those collections. The liner fabric that they're using, the shell fabrics, the color options, the design language. It's just a choose your own adventure. And with Air, there's only one adventure, I guess. And with Bellroy, I do appreciate that, the fun aspect of like, who am I? Am I a venture guy? Am I a classic guy or whatever? But
Yeah.
both freaking amazing brands that, you know.
Yeah, my only real
Yeah,
problem
without
with
talking to
tomtoc
like
is
JJ. Without talking to JJ, do you think that comes across to the consumer how Bellroy wants their brand to be seen, or do you think it's more confusing without literally talking to the head designer of Bellroy? Like it's just like
True.
like a normal person out there who's like looking for a brand and wanting a brand that they can, you know, buy stuff, they can continue to like get stuff from, and like, you know, have like a cohesive like package of carry goods from. Do you think that like someone who's just getting into it, choosing a brand, would understand that from Bellroy? Because I
No,
think it's very
no.
understandable from Air. Like, you know, when you see someone in an airport with an airbag, you're like, oh, I know that kind of person, that's sick. Like, you know, I don't know what Bellroy, you know, who that person is. So I don't
Yeah.
know if that, and maybe that doesn't matter to them, and maybe that doesn't matter in this entire conversation. But as looking at an overall brand, which I think is kind of what we're doing with this talk, is that something that we should keep in mind too?
So I'll pose this to the two Bellroy guys. In full honesty, when people are
Wow.
commenting
That's some sort of racism right there. Just calling me a Bellroy.
to the two bell heads, when people are in your comment section and or on Reddit and they're asking for your recommendation, what do you recommend more, Air or Bellroy?
Air. Air, but because people are asking for backpack
Alex,
recommendations more.
we have our decision.
I agree,
well,
man. Yeah.
No, but I mean, but here's the thing, and you guys understand that it's like you have to separate. Like I try to in my channel and like always talk about like stay true to my preferences and like whatever my preferences. But there's a big difference between my preferences and most other people's preferences, and I found that
You
also
found that
like
Air kind of
it's
meets everybody's preference.
yeah,
right?
it's a much of a box checker. It's comfortable. It stands
Yeah.
up on its own. Like a lot of
Yeah.
people aren't like really just view bags as tools. I think most consumers view them more as tools than anything else. And I also like look at it as a tool. But I guess if the question was battle of the bag brands, like which of like from a product perspective, like functional perspective, Air would win for sure. I just think holistically and just me trying to do you know, like crazy math in my head of like what I value more just from like a brand appreciation standpoint. yeah, for the reasons I got into. But yeah, Alex, honestly, like, yeah, you're 100% right. Had I not had that conversation with JJ, totally different. I remember like being like before I started the YouTube channel, like just like before I bought the Venture Readies thing, it is confusing trying to decide on a freaking sling. You go to the sling section and there's like 5 different collections to choose from, and you have to spend a lot more time and energy really trying to figure out, which me, I'm the kind of person that enjoys that vortex. I think we all kind of do to some extent, but for your average consumer that can be exhausting and confusing. And in that sense with air, it's a lot more straightforward. It's like, what size do you want? And maybe a few little like variations of, like whatever you're looking for, but not too confusing. But yeah,
I I will concede with the asterisk that like 100% agreed on functionality and recommendability and comfort. Thousand percent,
I'm sending you a text message, Zach.
100% those on those points that you guys make. 1,000%. So many airbags I love, but like from the asterisk is going to be on the personal level. I personally, connect more with Bellroy bags, although it's like the Bellroy bags I like, to your guys' point. Like there's
Yeah, no,
obviously ones that I don't connect with, but the ones I do, I connect more with than I do with Air overall. That's all.
yeah, you had a lot of great points, and I agree with you on pretty much everything you said about the brand. But like Wolf said, I was just thinking from most people think of them as tools, and that's why they were the most recommended bag for me personally. It's just hard to recommend something else when like if you get this bag, most people don't want to buy 12 backpacks, right? They want to get the one. They want to get the one to do it all, and that's where I just feel like, as much as the commenters hate us recommending the City Pack Pro 2, it checks all the boxes, man. It's hard not to
We're
recommend
going
it.
to hear a lot about this podcast.
Yeah.
What do you mean they have one your air shills?
Yeah, and this is why the
everyone's gonna be like,
T77
yeah,
deserves a spot.
I agree. I like tomtoc a lot. Get no arguments here, man.
Okay, well, I don't know how
Yeah,
much
so
time
are
we
we
got left
going
on
with
this
Air?
podcast. So I think that
Are we going with Air then?
I think we're 3-1 Air. We converted Zach with an asterisk.
Yeah.
with an
Are you
asterisk.
convinced yet? Well, I think we have to get everyone on board.
Can I do a final try to convince Zach back, and if not, then we either concede or we just leave it to the comment section. I think that could be
I'll
a fun
entertain
thing
it.
to.
I'll entertain it.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's get
The
involved.
one other component that I think also carries some weight, at least for me, and like one of the things I love about Pioneer Carry is Air. I think it's a combination of the fact that all of their shell fabrics are off the shelf, right? They're ballistic nylon, they're ultra, they're X-Pack, whereas Bellroy is designing and developing like the vast majority of their materials in-house, and they can be hit or miss, but like beta nylon, like that is maybe one of my favorite non-wax canvas, wink wink, shell fabrics on earth. I think it's the combination of that and yeah, the colors. I think when I think about like me connecting with something beyond the functionality component, like Air plays it very safe with colors, minus the salsa verde, ultra lime. I feel like they need to own that, man. Like they need to, like, right? Like it's like people love it. Like how many people do you see complaining about it? They need to lean into that more, just like be a little bit more adventurous. And yeah, I do like that, like Bellroy's colors, like their bronze color, like their new safari color, like that yellowish tan, the Everglade, like so many colors. Like it's
rock,
so hard
the
to
river rock is dope. I love it.
But yeah, I mean, like it's like my opinion won't change, but I'm happy to like just crown Air as the king. I mean, I freaking love Air.
Well,
Air
here's the
was
thing about Air too. Yeah, here's the thing about Air too. They are a brand that is. Everyone else wants to replicate airbags, right? I feel like a lot of brands are trying to make a bag like Air's, where Bellroy is trying to make bags like they've seen from the past, or recreating different bags from different brands that they've seen over time, right? Coming up with new things. But a lot of their stuff is they're taking inspiration, while Air kind of created a bag and everyone else is trying to create a bag as good as Air, if that makes sense.
I think there's some Bellroy bags that are
it
like
does.
totally unique though. Like to me, like the one you mentioned earlier with like the brain pocket and stuff, and how it has that like hidden tote bag underneath it, and like that's goofy, but it's like unique. And what's the other one, the Transit Travel Pack Pro, like I love that bag, and that I feel like that's not like biting anything off. Like the whereas like obviously the classic day pack or whatever is just like a JanSport and things like that. But I don't know. I feel like they do have some innovations too. Like I want to defend them a little bit. I'm
Yeah.
defending their
Yeah, I'm not
honor.
saying they're not innovative. I'm just saying they take their designs, I feel like, a lot from like previous designers and stuff like that. Or they're taking more inspiration where it seems like Air kind of, when they started, whatever it was, 10, 15 years ago, they said this is like our kind of identity and kind of went with it. And it seems like a lot of companies try and copy that now.
Yeah,
When
for
they
better or
just
worse,
have
right?
kind of been, yeah, right, right.
Which in and of itself, I have mixed. You're 100% right, Alex. By the way, I think it's just more than anything, it's for anyone looking to like enter the space. You want to like design your own bag. It is. It annoys me a little bit that everyone is just trying to replicate Air, and I get it. Like it just works, and that's what people want. But yeah, I'm just like really, all in all, just experiencing a bit of fatigue from it, and just leaning more and more into, I don't know, man. It's crazy. I feel like
But let's look at
it could be
the
a
two
whole.
brands again, right? You know, instead of the rest of it too. Like
Yeah,
we didn't have the black bag fatigue of everyone copying, I guess. What do you
Yeah,
think?
and that's what happens when you're in the space, and the longer you're in the space, like the black bags, it just don't move the needle for you anymore. And then this is why I was telling Zach the other day in a text message, this is where you start getting into the customs. And then once you go custom, like you can still go back to black bags and Air and bellroy and do all the other things, but you're forever jaded once you have an artisan, an artist craft something from your brain, right, from your materials, from your design, from your, and have it bring it to life. Like I for me, what I've learned, because I have so many customs and I'm going to bring some more customs to the channel here soon, is that i I try to keep them in their own lane, right? So you have my fun bellroy bags, I have the functional Air bags, I have my really cool customs with these exotic fabrics, and I try not to let the two kind of intertwingle. Like my $1,000 custom backpack against the travel pack 4 to me is not a fair comparison. You know what I mean? I try to hold space for everything, but I mean, yeah, just
And I
I don't
think
know where I
like
was going with that, but
I really want to try custom backpacks, so I'm way in on that train as soon as possible. And but to Alex's points, like I think like the more I think about it, I'm conceding more because of like this is the battle of brands. Like that's like the headline here. So when we're talking about that, like I feel like brand wise, to everyone's points or to Alex, especially like they do have a better like brand identity and like know who they are more. So I think I am just gonna officially switch my vote to Air just because I have love for Bellroy. They're my peoples, but like I just Air as a brand and as like overall functionality for the entire carry space and consumers, like I feel like it's hard not to crown Air here.
there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I feel like Alex wants me to concede. He just wants the full on
No, I know you
abomination.
won't. It's all right. We're gonna get tons of hate comments for this too. I guarantee.
Yeah.
You. Everyone's gonna be
Oh,
like,
yeah, we're
"Really?
getting shredded.
yeah, I fully anticipate. I think
For
like
for
too,
shilling.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
100%.
My Air affiliate link will be in the. No, I'm just messing with you guys. I know where. Yeah, I mean, like I said, we do this right, and people want recommendations, and we always refer to Air because they're just so functional and they check a lot of boxes, and it's just where we come from, right? That doesn't mean we don't enjoy all of these other brands, and I know somebody's going to see a certain section of this video and just go in on us, but which is, it's the internet, right? You just, there's a certain level, but um I just think when you look at all these brands that are on the screen, uh yeah, it's just the easiest one to recommend is Air most of the time.
Guarantee there's going to be some comments, people hating on why GoRuck didn't make this list. What
Yes,
other brands that
We
we
didn't
missed?
we didn't like
there's
have experience. I don't have experience with it, so I
Yeah.
feel weird like speaking on that basically.
yeah, so that's kind of where all this list came from. We kind of try to pick brands that we all have some experience with. We didn't want to go with other brands. But on that note, I know we're coming probably close to the end here. I just wanted to ask you all, fellow reviewers and people in the bag space, what's a brand that more people should be talking about in your, this is purely your pick. This is something, it doesn't matter, right? Just you think that more people should look at for XYZ reasons or whatever. I was just curious to pick your brains if you had a brand.
Love that.
Zach, why don't you go? Because you've worked with so many brands. I'm curious to
Yeah,
actually
I
know about that.
I I have, not gonna lie, but I don't know. I'm trying to think of like what's a weird brand that isn't talked about a lot. Because like off this list, I would say if I had to pick one, it would probably be Able Carry. I know a lot of people talk about them, but I feel like they don't get as much attention as some of these others. If I'm thinking of like a super esoteric brand, that's tough. I'm trying to think like I mean, I honestly really, from a sling perspective, like Roaring Fire, no one really talks about them, but they make like really solid wax canvas slings, and I am actually a big fan of them. So, them and Nutsack are like the wax canvas brands that like aren't top of mind for everyone, but they're very high quality wax canvas bags. So,
Yeah, for sure.
give it to those guys.
I would
I guess
throw.
I'll go
Oh,
ahead. Go
sorry.
ahead.
No, the Waterfield Designs, for sure. I've been, yeah, like the Panda Pack's my favorite pack, but I've been using the. I feel like in the last year, I've been using the Tech Folio more, and now I'm like actually using their toiletry bag. They're, yeah, just one of those brands that also like knows exactly who they are. They're kind of like the heir of like their own thing, like in the wax canvas modern world. But yeah, anyone that likes a blend of heritage, but you still want your creature comforts, just something that's like not super uncomfortable, and you have like a decent amount of organization, is one that I really, really like.
Alex, you got a brand or you want me to go?
Yeah, I got a quick one. For me, it's Vous pouvez dormir dans la grange. Probably not a surprise since I did my collab with them. But yeah, two designers in France, amazing people. They have more products coming out this year, which is exciting. But right now, they just only have a couple things. But they do everything from like hats to bags to chairs. They are like designers first and make really cool, interesting bags that are not going to be for like carry nerds, but they are going to be for like people who like Bellroy, for instance. They're very colorful. They're very
Whoa,
fun
whoa,
and
whoa,
playful.
whoa! Just getting really
And,
aggressive here,
You
Alex.
people.
You, the
and have,
bellheads,
no,
the
I'm
bellheads are
recommending
angry.
this. This is one of my favorite brands. This is one of my favorite brands. I'm recommending this here.
Yeah,
But they are the best. They're, yeah, it's such a cool, cool brand. So definitely check them out if you want something a little bit different, but really fun and playful. But also is like handmade in France with like great leather on it. It's, yeah, they're awesome. Check them out.
Say the name
Um,
again.
Vous pouvez dormir dans la grange, which means you can sleep in the barn. It's like something that used to be written on barns when people were like traveling, like, you know, like train hopping and stuff. And it would say on the barn, like you can sleep in the barn if you could like go in and like spend the night there, basically.
Hell
that's
yeah.
pretty cool.
There you
Uh,
go.
one brand for me that I wish more was part of the conversation in the carry space and mentioned in the comments of videos and Reddit is Inside Line Equipment. They're a really unique brand, also California based as well. I love roll top bags. They make some really cool roll top bags. They're using tons of different exotic materials and different X packs and different designs. It's not going to be for everybody, but those who do have the bags can vouch for them that they're really unique, super cool designs. And yeah, just I think Inside Line Equipment should be talked about a lot more. Like, again, they're a little on the pricey side because they do experiment with some crazy materials, and some design choices aren't always the best fit, right? When you're getting into some of these smaller brands that take risks. But I just think they're a really fun brand, and I hope to see more inside line equipment conversations.
Make it happen. By the way, I think I'm becoming more and more of a roll top guy. I yeah, I totally see it. I know you're like a massive fan, and I as someone that obsesses over like eliminating friction anywhere I can.
Yeah,
Yeah,
have
I
you
don't know.
gotten
Yeah.
have you gotten to try a roll top with a clamshell? You still have full
No,
clamshell opening, but it
no,
has a roll
no.
top for expansion. Oh my
Yeah,
god! Oh, like the
yeah, those are
Wanderer, the
great.
CTR. I mean, yeah, they're fantastic. I think to me personally, on a personal level, that is my favorite backpack design. Fully clamshell access with a roll top. It's just man, it's just so good.
Sorry, John. We don't all have $3,000 on a back for
That's how
Philippe Roboche.
that
Yeah,
Wakes bag was like that too. I kind of like that.
yeah. I forgot about the wake spec. Yeah, I did review that one as well. Yeah,
And like Neo Smart, I know like no, we're not like the biggest Neo Smart lovers, but they had that Herman H2 had that
yeah, which I also
style.
reviewed.
It's pretty cool.
And I really like Nail Smart because they go for it, and their designs are again it's just kind of like inside line equipment. The design choices don't even make sense, but it's one of the reasons I really respect Nail Smart because they're using high quality materials, great construction, but they're tackling this carry solution in their own way. Does it always work? No, but I appreciate that they're going for it in their own lane. So that's a great example, Zach. Yeah, Nail Smart. Shout out Nail Smart.
And
Just make your logo like a little smaller.
I liked their bags, honestly, but like, let me just say one more brand that I thought of while you guys were talking, but
Do it.
no one knows about this brand. It's not necessarily just backpacks, but Tough Possum gear, made in America. Their bags are incredible. They're trunk duffels for your car. They have
Yeah.
really nice satchels. Their med pouch is my favorite med pouch I've ever used, and it's just like excellent quality products. Like highly.
I seriously thought you were going to pitch your online store there for a second. I was fully expecting the Vision Swell Odessa shirt. Like, hell yeah.
Hey, my sling is hanging behind me right there.
Yeah.
100%
Yeah, where's your
organic
sling slot
cotton.
merch?
Yeah.
It's not in frame because I'm in school sometimes on this camera, so it's on the side of that cabinet back there, so you can't see it in frame.
full missed opportunity to pitch the online store.
That'd be, hey, you guys enjoying this podcast?
This is brought to you by Vision Swell.
Someone bought, like, a couple people bought merch in the past 2 days too, and it was cracking me up because I was like, it's working.
Hell yeah.
You're turning into Nomad's Nation.
Does he sell merch? I've never seen it.
Good one. All right, let's wrap this guy up. I would say curious thoughts on Air being the winner, and also just like for future content, like anything that you'd be interested in seeing. I know we have in the roadmap another one kind of like the travel pack 4 where we're going to be doing a blind tasting essentially of a bag pre-launch, recording it, and then like we'll post it maybe like 4 or 5 days after the launch for an exciting bag that I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people curious to hear thoughts on. But yeah, anything else, Alex? You and I, maybe we do like a offshoot of traveling with kids, why you should probably wait a lot longer to have kids and travel your face off before you do, or just have 5 dogs to fill that void in the meantime.
That's right. Or just like you and me talking about traveling with kids, and then Zach and John just telling us about every cool place they've ever traveled to. It'd be like a really
Hell
fun
yeah.
one.
Hell yeah. Any closing remarks from you guys?
I don't think I'm surprised by the outcome of this. I think it went when you guys pitched the idea. This is exactly how I saw it going. Just really tough to compete, but like we said earlier, bunch of all great brands. They all bring something unique to the table. It just really just came down to utilitarian, right? But I know that there's going to be tons of comments about brands we missed, but again, we touched on that as well as why we picked these. But yeah, this isn't a knock to any of the brands. A lot of we all use these brands in our daily lives in some aspect, one way or another. Yeah, even though I didn't go with Bellroy, guys, I'm loving the classic Bellroy roll top. I just I love the bag. My video's coming soon on that bag, but I'm just really enjoying my time with that bag.
And that blue's sick, by the way.
Dude, the blue is
Yeah,
the
it's
blue is
awesome.
sick, but what's even sicker is that green interior. Is every time I open the roll top, I'm like, oh,
Wait, the
it's
blue one
just-
has a green
Wait, it has
interior?
it has a
Green
green interior. It is so good. It
God.
is so good. Talk about joy. Yeah.
Are you sure you don't want to change your mind real quick?
It's funny. You made a last ditch effort to change Zach's mind, and then you just cemented his decision to go with air instead.
Well, the one thing you didn't say that I thought you were going to say when
Yeah,
you
that
were
green is
trying to
nice.
change my mind was that you didn't bring up the sustainability factor and like recycled materials. That would
talked
have
about
been
it a
the
few times,
other
yeah.
angle I would have taken, but we should do like an esoteric bag brand battle where it's just like only weirdo brands like that. Not weirdo brands, but you know what I mean? Like ones that aren't top tier.
I would love to do like an indie
Yeah, I want to
maker,
know what
like an
people
independent maker.
want us to do. I want some recommendations in the comments for what people think we should do next. I think it'd be fun.
Yeah, it'd be
Anything else, boys? Well,
Good chat, everyone. That was fun.
yeah.
I like that we got spicy, so that was fun. Little spicy sometimes, which is what I it was too safe in the first round, and then we kind of got a little bit more combative. I like that.
Yeah.
All
Shout
right.
out tomtoc.
Yeah. Let's get that collab going.
All right, cool.